Hello, how are you? My name is Sarah from Sarah's Reading Nook, and today we are going to be talking about all the books that made me cry in 2020. And welcome back to my channel. So please, before we start our video, please make sure that you hit the like button because we are going to have quite a few videos this Bookmas. So hit the bell if you want to be notified of every time that we make a video for Bookmas. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be talking about the books that made me cry between December 2019 and November of this year. There were not that many, and I do have to mention that one book that has made me cry that I have been reading in November, and I'm going to continue reading it in December until I have finished it. And that book is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. So I don't want to be too redundant, and I have mentioned it in other videos, but my gosh, like, this book is sort of famous for having that reaction with people. It is a tearjerker, and keep in mind, as of today, I am only at this point, so I have read 284 pages of this book so far, and I've already cried twice. And from what I've heard, it only gets more heartbreaking. This book follows Jude and his friends as they sort of traverse through life and all of life's difficulties. Mental health is definitely discussed in this book. Past traumas, I'm sure the content warnings would be very, very strong for this one. But you know, sometimes you do want to read a book that will have that sort of emotion. It feels very raw, and really I do not know how the author was able to capture such authentic emotions and just do such an amazing job of writing so far. I'm taking my time with this. I'm doing a little bit each day, and I'm actually doing a reading vlog for this one. So hopefully I will be able to post it this month, but I really don't know how long this is going to take me to finish. But I am taking my time with it. Many moments so far, I have been on the verge of crying during this book, and twice the waterfalls have just poured. I'm gonna try and find the next book. And so the next book that I have on my list is a book that I do have a reading vlog for. And that book, I was bawling by the end of it, is this beautiful book here, Circe by Madeline Miller. So in Circe, we have a witch, and she is able to exercise her witchcraft. However, her father, Zeus is alarmed, and so Circe is forced to live on an island all by herself. And on that island, she is not free from potential harm. Those who know the story of Circe will have an idea of what might happen at that island and how Circe is able to recover. So this is a story that not only is fascinating, but it is also written by someone who, in my opinion, is a very talented author who is well researched. Your questions about Circe are answered, namely, who is she? What might she be thinking at any given point? What are her capabilities? What is she able to do? Just so many things about Circe in this book. And now I will admit that this book was a little bit difficult for me to get into. So I listened to the audiobook at the same time that I read the physical book. And by the time that I got to the end of this book, I was just crying so much because I just didn't want it to end. I absolutely loved it. And I don't quite know if it had the same effect on other readers that it had on me. And I can't really describe exactly why it had that effect, but it was one of the most captivating books that I have read this year. And giving a star rating is difficult for me just because the first part of the book was incredibly slow and difficult for me not to DNF. But by the time this was done, my mind was blown. So this was just such a roller coaster. And I think that when I got to the end of this, I was just so happy that I stuck with it. It made me rethink how I think of DNFs. Not that I DNF many books, but it just got me thinking, what books have I stopped that I should have kept going? maybe that's when I'll finish reading this, or let's see, I don't know. Maybe I'll end up really enjoying it. But I have to say, this book is something completely special. And I might even put it up there for some of the year. Just a beautiful book. If anyone wants to buddy read The Song of Achilles with me, let me know. Drop your name. 2021. I should have read this before, but I'm gonna get to The Song of Achilles. Next book is a book that I have talked about many times. It is The Boy, the Fox, the Mole, and the Horse. And that is by Charlie Mackesy. Not only did I cry once during that book, I cried multiple times. I would be the next page and then the next page, because it's just so beautiful. The illustrations are so simple, and it really helped me get through, a difficult time when I was trying to motivate myself when, the world was changing, to keep pressing forward and to keep going, Some days you need a little pick-me-up, or you need to read something that will kind of give you inspiration. So I absolutely love that and recommend it to you. And so the last book that really made me cry was Black Girl Unlimited by Echo Brown. And it's a super interesting book. It is about a girl named Echo, and she encounters many difficulties and obstacles, not just with her herself, but within her family. The content warning list for this book is very large, and it is very emotional to read. When you are reading the book, I feel that Echo, she makes it look effortless, just how good her ability to write a scene and to evoke emotion is. One aspect of the book that really got to me was the relationship between Echo and her mother. Now, Echo's mother was battling a drug addiction at the time, and you could see how her addiction took over her life, and also how it affected Echo and her siblings. Because there was a financial toll, there was obviously an emotional toll on Echo, and you could imagine that it would have a profound influence on how someone views the world and how able they are to access resources, not just emotional resources, but also like educational. It's hard not to be inspired by Echo, how she was able to achieve so much despite all of the obstacles that her and her family had to overcome. This was a top shelf read, and the Top Shelf Society actually discussed this book. We discussed this book together. So not only did we have each one of our members there, all the members that could come, but we also had Elle from Lovely Reads 101. And I think that it was one of my favorite shows that we've done. I don't think there was a single one of us that wouldn't, say that this was an amazing read. Again, the content warnings are pretty heavy, but if you are able to read it, I highly suggest you do. Although sometimes these type of stories are difficult to digest and are difficult to read, I think it is important to read them, because it represents a person, their story, and their story is powerful and meaningful and important. Of course, it's tremendously difficult to read, but if you can, or if you are on the fence, just look at the content warnings, see if you're able to read it, and I really suggest you do. But if you do, just like with any of these other books, make sure that you have some tissues nearby. They will do a great service to help. So those are the 4 books that really made me cry this year, all of which have been somewhat new. And I hope that if you are looking for very powerful, very meaningful books, that you will check them out. Again, make sure that you look at the content warnings ahead of time. I think the only one that really doesn't have very heavy content warnings is probably The Boy, the Fox, the Mole, and the Horse. The others, I could see them having some degree of need or requisition for content warnings, especially this one and Black Girl Unlimited. So let me know below, were there any reads that you had in the past year that really made you cry? I would love to hear them, and I would love to subsequently read them. And in the back of my mind, I have been thinking of a word for this video, a Portuguese word of the day, and that word is chuva. Chuva. Chuva means rain. Again, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. Please turn on the bell notifications if you want to be notified every time we have a new Bookmas video or new video in general, because we would love to have you here. And please don't forget to give a like. It really helps us know what you enjoy moving forward. And now I am off to cuddle with Olivia. We are going to be reading A Little Life. So we are going to vlog it in some capacity, and I'm not quite sure when this video is going to go up. It might be after the vlog of this one, but we hope you will watch that. All right, that's everything for today. Bye!